karoon ng saklaw o jurisdiksyon sa dalawang uri ng kaso. Yung una, criminal and civil cases involving graft and corrupt practices. Isa yun. Pangalawa, yung iba pang mga krimen na ang mga gumagawa ay yung mga empleyado ng gobyerno in relation to their office as may be determined by law.
Ayun. So, in other words, any kind of offense by a government official under the, actually, it's not just under the electoral sabotage law, but under any law, any crime, and it involves both civil and criminal. Dapat talaga sa sandigan lang
Napakapayak ng pananalita ng ating saligang batas dahil itong probisyong ito sa ating 1973 Constitution ay na-carry over dun sa Provisional Constitution of 1986, yung tinatawag na Freedom Constitution, at na-carry over pa rin sa ating 1987 Constitution. Isang pangungusap lang, bawat isa.
Okay, so the question that we must ask then is, bakit final sa RTC sa Pasay?
Dahil sinusunod ng mga abogadong nagpayo sa COMELEC, sa DOJ, sa Malacanang, sinusunod nila yung Omnibus Election Code na inamyendahan ng Electoral Sabotage Law na sinasabi lahat ng mga krimen, lahat ng paglabag ng mga batas tungkol sa halalan ay nasa exclusive jurisdiction ng Regional Trial Court.
Kaya ba ng ating Kongreso na magpasa ng ganyang batas kung malinaw ang sinasabi ng saligang batas?
Hindi. Yan ay labag sa saligang batas dahil sa ilalim ng saligang batas, tatlo lamang po ang pamamaraan na kinikilala at pinapayagan upang maamyendahan ang saligang batas. Ito yung Constitutional Convention, yung Constituent Assembly, at saka yung People's Initiative. Wala po yung exercise of ordinary lawmaking powers as a mode of amending the Constitution.
Okay, ang sinasabi dito ni Kaalan is something very simple. Anumang batas ang ini-issue ng ating Kongreso na taliwas sa ating pangunahing batas, ang saligang batas, ay unconstitutional to begin with.
And therefore, void from the beginning. Hindi nangyari sa mata ng batas.
Okay. So, I am sure the legal advisors of the DOJ and the COMELEC were aware of this.
Yes.
So, was it filed simply because they expected the judge to issue right away an arrest warrant? But could not the Sandigan Bayan, if it were filed in the Sandigan Bayan, also immediately issue an arrest warrant?
Yes. The answer is yes in both questions. Now, the problem was this. They had a choice. Kung ipapile nila sa Sandigan Bayan, baka kontrahin sila nung kabila, sabihin, ang liwanag ng Omnibus Election Code, dapat Regional Trial Court. Kaya sabi nila, dito na lang tayo sa Regional Trial Court. May presumption of validity yung batas hanggat hindi na dedeklarang unconstitutional.
So they took a legal chance?
Yes. Nakalimutan nila na yung kalakarang iyon ay general rule. Nakalimutan nila yung exception na kung payak, napakasimple ng saligang batas, ito ang jurisdiksyon ng Sandigan Bayan, walang kakayahan ang ating lehislatura na baguhin yung pagkakatadhana ng jurisdiksyon ng saligang batas doon sa jurisdiksyon ng Sandigan Bayan.
Kung ganyan kalinaw yan, bakit kaya nag-issue ng warrant of arrest si Judge, anong pangalan niya?
Mupas.
Mupas.
Magandang tanong yan, Ray. Kasi kung papansinin po natin, itong probisyong ito sa jurisdiksyon ng Sandigan Bayan sa ating kasalukuyang saligang batas, pag binasa mo yung proceedings ng 1986 Constitutional Commission, zero po. Wala pong diskusyon. Walang diskusyon. They passed it. Sabi, it will continue to function and exercise its jurisdiction as is now and hereafter be provided by law. Kaya they thought all the while that the Sandigan Bayan is a statutory court. In fact, if you read the book of Father Bernas, yun ang nag-stand out na commentary niya dito sa probisyong ito, that the Sandigan Bayan is a statutory court. But that would be less than accurate. Why? It is true that under the 1973 Constitution, yung pambansang asambleya o kaya yung presidential decree because of Amendment number 6, ang maglilikha ng Sandigan Bayan. Totoo yun. to that extent, the Sandigan Bayan is a statutory court because it is created by statute. But they overlook that the jurisdiction is provided by the Constitution. Ngayon, yung clause dun sa huling bahagi ng pangungusap dun sa 1970 Constitution, as may hereafter be determined by law, in-apply nila sa lahat ng kaso.
Oo.
Ay hindi pwede. Kasi yung as may hereafter be determined by law, it refers to ano yung other offenses.
Na hindi
Other
naman
than-
defined.
Yes, they have to determine that. But once they determine which offenses are committed by public officers and employees in relation to their job, they cannot provide for any other qualification because the Constitution does not provide for any qualification.
Alam mo, Kaalan, nagtataka naman ako na hindi naman mangmang ang ating Kongreso, ba't kaya sila magpapasa ng ganong klaseng batas na alam nilang pwedeng itaob because of its unconstitutional character? Ibig sabihin ba nun, pakitang tao lang yung pagpasa niyan, pero walang pwedeng maliti sa ilalim ng ganyang batas if it's unconstitutional?
Sa tingin ko, nanalig silang masyado doon sa pronouncement ng mga constitutional commissioners na walang problema ito, walang kaso ito, ituloy na lang yan Sandigan Bayan, statutory court yan. Yung implikasyon nun ay nilikha ng batas, ay pwedeng idikta ng batas kung saan mag-a-apply, kung paano i-apply, kung ano i-qualify. Katulad yung salary grade 27, sa Sandigan Bayan, pag below salary grade 27, regional trial court, walang ganong nakalagay sa saligang batas.
So they cannot put in something that is greater than what the Constitution provides.
Yes, because that would constitute an amendment of the Constitution which they have no power to do unless they are acting as a constituent assembly.
Okay, we're taking a look at some of the other texts that are now coming in, and we are asking if we can at least see some of them now. All right, from 0908-878-7369. Kung si GMA ay fake president kaya arestado siya ngayon, si Corona ay fake Chief Justice. Ma-impeach ba si Corona dahil sa illegal appointment as Chief Justice dahil midnight appointee? Abalos may turn state witness also. Well, I guess the answer to that is that the Supreme Court already ruled that the appointment of Corona was legal.
Yes.
Sino magdedeklara ngayon na illegal yung kanyang appointment when the highest court of the land has already declared that it is legal?
The problem with the question is it involves the premises are all assumptions.
Oo. Hindi, they are not statements of fact. Kasi until declared otherwise, you cannot call, kasi after all, tapos na ang term ni GMA eh. So I don't know whether you can still declare her to be a fake president or an illegal president after the term is ended. Tapos na, it becomes moot and academic because she's no longer in power and no longer in office.
It would take a revolutionary government to do that. But
Okay.
under the present system,
Hindi pwede, no?
there is no more
All right.
no more remedy.
Which of course brings us to an important question, and that has to do with the idea that are we a nation of laws or a nation of men? Ano ba ang assessment mo dito sa pangyayari? Because nakikita natin na medyo maraming criticism sa Korte Suprema. While some people say, no, nagiging masyado ng personal o ganito o ganon. The issue, however, gusto kong tingnan yung issue, not the personalities eh.
Yes.
At makita natin, under a democracy, ano bang pinaka-nangingibabaw dito sa isang demokrasya?
Under the Constitution, our government is supposed to operate under two conditions.
Oo.
The rule of law, number one, and then number two, a regime of truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, and peace.
Okay, what if I don't agree with the law or its interpretation?
You are always free to question it before the courts.
And if they agree with you, then they will issue a judgment. But if they don't agree with you and they issue another judgment, ano ang recourse ng taong bayan sa judgment na final na and executory sa Korte Suprema at wala ka na ibang pwedeng puntahan?
Even assuming for the sake of argument that
It's a wrong judgment.
there is an error,
Oo.
we have to follow it because that is our system.
In other words, meron pong kasabihan kasi sa Latino, dura lex sed lex. The
The
law
law-
may be harsh, but that's the law.
But the complete translation would be, the law may be harsh to some,
Oo.
but it is the law. Because the law is harsh only to the violators.
Oo.
So, it is not really harsh. Precisely, the law is the tool for promoting the common good, which is the essence of police power.
Alam mo, ang nagiging problema kasi dito, ang mga desisyon ng ating korte ngayon, I mean, maybe there is a basis to question some of these decisions, and I'm not taking that away. Parang politika, ang kaso ngayon sa husgado, parang politika. Walang natatalo, nadadaya lang lahat.
Parang eleksyon.
Parang eleksyon, no? Walang kandidato pag natalo sa, hindi, dinaya ako, dinaya ako. Whether there is any reason for it, maybe there is a basis, but kung sino man ang naproklama, yun ang mauupo. Di ba?
Kaya nga napakahalaga nung tagumpay ni Coco Pimentel.
Na nagkaroon ng reversal. But even that, ang nangyari dyan, walang resolution kasi nag-resign si Miggy Zubiri.
That is the best resolution because there is an admission by the most affected party.
Okay. Well, but it cannot be considered an admission of cheating. He never said anything about that.
That is true, but you know, in Roman law, there is the saying that he who is the possessor of the stolen good is presumed to be the thief. So if you are the possessor
Of an
of a
office,
stolen office, you are presumed to be the thief.
okay, but he can still say, however, wala naman akong conviction. But that's you know,
another story.
kung yun ay Consuelo de Bobo, that's another story. From 0926-624-2769, kung lahat tayo law-abiding citizen, wala sana problema ang bayan. Sa ngayon,